I got your glasses, I'm trying to figure out how to see. All right, here we go. Heavenly Father, please help us to make the right decisions for the people of Oconee County. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Small.
Here.
Brumman. Here. Yax.
Here.
Johnston.
Here.
Brady.
Here. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the, oh wait, first I have to add into new business, the CBiz report.
And what? The special meeting minutes. I forgot to add those to the agenda.
And approving the special meeting minutes from November 12th, 2025. New business is CBiz, the CBiz report.
Oh.
Seabiscuit. That being said, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from November 5th, 2025 and the November 12th, 2025 special meeting minutes. Noted that the copy I signed will have the changes addressing the bid for the roof. Who supported? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
All those opposed, motion carries. Public comment, limited to 3 minutes, holy man, look at them all, all came in. Up to you, Mark, what do you got? Ah, dang it.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna pop up real quick. I don't know if you can look out the window today, you'll notice the Christmas trees are up. That was the thing we discussed at the last meeting. That they're gonna be decorating the trees through this week. I believe they're having a tree lighting ceremony this Saturday out here for the thing.
29.
Later on, 20 something. So I thought it was the 22nd. I thought it was the 22nd, they're actually doing the lighting thing. Is what it said on the literature, I believe. Is that what it said? Is it 29th? 29th, and I'm wrong.
29th, 2045. Sorry about that.
Oh, they're doing something else downtown for a tree lighting thing. That's a different sorry, wrong tree lighting.
Okay.
Wrong tree lighting. I guess they're doing one down at the end of the street.
Art council's gonna want that, but.
That's the one you were talking about, yeah. So anyways, that's the project that's going on through the city, so the trees are up.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Public comment? Okay. Moving on, presentations, none. Unfinished business, buildings and grounds roofing bids. We reviewed everything last week, Dave, do you have a recommendation for us?
Oh, Dave,
Dave,
that's me.
yeah, you,
I'm back up, sorry. Alright, so we opened up the bids at the finance committee. We decided, as a group to go with Great Lakes Roofing. They're the same company that did our roof on this roof. There was 4 bids that were turned in. One was Story Roofing Company, Great Lakes Roofing, Thomas Brown and Son Roofing, and Universal Roofing. One of them was immediately disqualified because they didn't meet all the criteria. So it left us 3 choices to go through. They were all pretty close in price for what we're looking for. The difference in the cost were about the materials, and we thought the one was underbidding a little bit on the material cost for what they were gonna do. So that's why we chose Great Lakes Roofing. So the total cost would be, we're just gonna do the front half of the sheriff's department. Like I said, there's still another year, full warranty, and if we take care of it, it may last longer than that, another 5 years. On the back half of the roof, while the contractors are here though, we just asked them to put in a bid on that project. So if funds become available, we decide to do it sooner, or if we just wait the full 5 years, we'll have a base idea of what it's gonna cost us to that point, so we can plan ahead instead of getting a surprise like we got with this roof. So basically, we set, goal would be $27,000 for the project. In their base bid, they thought it would take 3 to 4 days to complete the project.
And they can get on it right away, right?
Yeah, they were ready to go on it as soon as we get the approval for it. I contacted the company and they were gonna start getting materials together. They had most of the materials on, it's one of those things, it's a standard roof on that one. So most of the stuff they have, other than some accessories.
so you're recommending Great Lakes Roofing?
Yes,
I'll make a motion to hire Great Lakes Roofing.
Or.
Who supported, conversation on my behalf would be that they did the first part of our roof, and that would be good to have them be in charge of the entire project.
Yep.
Any other comments? Roll call.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Brady.
Yes. On the claims. Oh, man, gotta get free.
We'll say that.
So moved.
No more buckets and drums. Second.
Who just seconded? Well, the county didn't even read it. Read it out just for the sake of the thing.
Carolyn would like to make a motion to approve the pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payments in November fifth, 2025 and November 18th of 2025. For check number 159277 to 159417 and e-checks 2764 to 2772. For a grand total of $344,060.09.
That was a motion by Carol, seconded by Terry. Any conversation? Roll call.
Brady,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes.
Democratic expiring canvasser seat nomination. Stephanie, I assume you want to take the lead on this.
Trying to catch up here, just. One
No,
second.
hurry up.
So typically, I believe the seats expired October 31st. Usually I always get notification from the Bureau of Elections that I have a Democratic and a Republican Party, a canvasser that's gonna be expiring. And I got no notification this year, which was very surprising. And, Margie reached out to me and she provided for the Democratic Party the three, canvassers' names. Trying to find it. And, okay, Kathleen Dunkel, Ted Fines, and, I'm sorry, yeah, and Kathy Rice, Murray Rice. Kathy Dunkel currently, is an alternate, so that if something happens and, we're trying to get her, training. I did not speak to Ted Fines, but I believe Margie had been in contact with him and he is willing to stay on as a canvasser. This, I'm guessing, might be probably his last term. And he. We'll see how that goes, but, you can do a voice vote for the Democratic Party chair. Or not chair, but canvasser that's getting ready to expire. They're staggered. There's 4, 2 of each, and they have staggered terms.
I would so move that we, we're approving, aren't we?
To a point,
Approving the, oh,
Yes.
that's my thought. The appointment of the 3, delegates as submitted by the, chairman of the Democratic Party. Elkhorn County Democratic Party. Being Kathy Dunkel, Ted Fines, and Kathy Rice.
Of course. Oh, we can do it. Who supported, any more conversation?
who you're going to appoint. Are you just accepting them in this part of the motion,
This is the-
Carolyn?
She said a point.
Okay, and appoint who?
Oh, how many do we have to pick?
They have 3 options, so they have to do a voice vote of 1.
Oh, just one?
I thought they needed,
Says 3-2. So I'm confused now too.
Yep.
You will do a voice vote to, if she brings.
So somebody's going off the board right now?
No,
No.
yeah, Ted Fine's term has expired.
Okay, so Ted's done.
He's currently the canvasser chair.
Got it.
He
so
is
you're saying we need one,
correct.
not.
They provide, each party always provides 3 names.
For some
You
reason, I
appoint
was
one,
thinking-
you can
okay.
do it by a voice vote.
That's the
You
correct.
can do it by a secret ballot, but the secret ballot is then becomes public
I have no
information,
problem.
so.
I'm going to say Kathy Dunkel.
So wait, before you go on, so Kathy right now is an alternate
She serves as the alternate.
and Kathy Murray Rice is not on any of it.
No,
She's brand new.
and Ted Fines.
Ted's is the current chair.
And Ted Fines has submitted that he would like to stay on, and he's currently the chair.
And so the Democratic County Chair would like Ted Fines to stay on.
No, he's the chair of what?
So the chair of the Democratic Party has
This
has stated they would like to see Ted Fines remain on the board of canvassers.
But they have to provide 3 names.
They have to provide the names.
One
Got it.
currently, Yes,
Now I got it.
I have no problem with
it
support.
only happens once every 2 years.
There are health issues that my concern. All right, I'll change to Ted. I'm flexible sometimes.
Somebody laughed behind you.
Seconded. For Ted Fines.
How many are behind me?
Any more discussion?
They probably all laugh.
you.
And it doesn't need a roll call vote.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye,
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Phil Coffey got it.
Next up, Curry Township Master Plan Draft.
It didn't provide the whole draft plan. It's probably 300 some pages long, but on that, it does have the, I think there was that link, yeah, and that first paragraph, last line, you can click on there if you would like to review it. Once it's no longer in its draft version, I do print one hard copy, and that will be maintained in the office in my vault.
Do we need to approve it? Or just recognize that we received it?
Your municipality agency has a maximum of 63 days from the receipt of the draft to submit comments.
Oh, okay,
Just forward this to your planning commission.
so we just make comments on the warrant.
Or to the person responsible for reviewing it.
I make motion to receive the master plan from the Tri-Township master plan and file it for whatever reason.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. CBiz report. Stephanie, what's the CBiz?
Okay, I haven't honestly had a real good chance to review it. Seth, our new representative, Bob Hout is taking a higher position up, and we can always still reach out to him if we have any questions. The CBiz report is our MMRMA requires every 5 years that they view the property in person. And so now, when they first did it, there was 2 or 3 of them here, I think, that came and met with Dave mainly, and they went to all the properties. And because they couldn't think of the last time we'd had it done when we were with Lappin. So they did what replacement costs were gonna be. So the last time this was done was in 2000. Then COVID hit. So Seth told her, Trina, that if you will notice, the replacement costs have increased significantly. So I am gonna see what the liability renewal is gonna look like come July.
100%, 188% increase.
I have a angst over the reference to what I believe is Harbor Town, but it's not at the harbor. And as you read what they have Harrisville Harbor. Now, I think that they are referencing Harbor Town. But this has to me, has an implication, it's something down by the harbor. The way it reads, Harrisville Harbor, oh, okay, I'll go down to the harbor. But I think it misrepresents, and I just,
Is that the correct address?
pardon?
Is that the correct address for?
Yeah. Yeah, the address is correct, but I think that the nomenclature of it is not bad, not totally wrong, but not representative.
How about the 74% increase in value that they put on it?
Pardon?
How about the 74% increase in value?
Others had increases. And,
They're saying that they bring $1 million. Bigger.
I choked on the office building.
It was $1 million.
There. You're doing 31% increase.
Oh, are you looking at the spreadsheet?
Yeah,
Now, you said this was last check at 2,000 or 2020? That,
For 19.
I mean, 2020. If I said 2000, that's.
2020.
It's right after, it was like we signed up with MMRMA in 2019, and I think CBIZ came that following year
Overall.
in 2020.
Not that much bigger surprise, really.
what did we pay, what was the total cost of the veterans building in Lincoln?
$180,000.
No, what was the cost?
Who knows? They had a lot of donations too, so it's hard to.
Including the donations and everything. How much money was spent to create that building?
$180,000.
She's right. What's she saying? 180. That's what it costs.
So this number is based on the cost of it.
Where is it at?
186,000.
The office,
I'm sorry, 180,000.
they have 417 on it.
I'm looking at the
She-
current overview value.
Oh,
Why, I don't even see it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh.
So their new value they put on it is 407. It went up by 126,000, 26%. Right?
This is the first time they've evaluated it.
Yeah, but they're going on replacement costs. So what it would cost them to rebuild that building?
So I go back to my original question. What was the cost, total dollars put into the
180.
property and the building?
I think 180 for the building and the property was free. Now the dirt work, I think the dirt work is in on that 182. So I think the building was 147 and the dirt work was 33,000 or something. So 180 on that.
And then they added some more stuff after.
Yeah, they've done stuff.
So pavilion. So that,
Pavilion's in the process of getting built. I don't know if the parking lot was there when they did this. They've done retaining walls. But if, you know, they had to, if the insurance company had to hire contractors to rebuild it, they'd never do it for 180.
I recognize that.
And just with that, it might not be, because if you look at it might not be a huge slam come renewal. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying, this would be why if there is, because our replacement value already, or any of that for our liability is up to almost $1 million. On anything anyways, but
Am I correct or wrong that this is the basis of our insurance?
no, I can't answer that. I don't know.
How is this?
I don't think so. Because if they gave us a quote for our insurance in 2019 and didn't do this first CBIZ report until 2020, I would say this does not base it. Is it going to increase your property liability? It could.
They didn't do this just to come and visit Alcona County. And I'm wondering, what is the purpose and how is this being used? I just,
Well, if the railroad is requesting it, and then they're using it to figure out how much they have to pay.
A new premium comes.
In larger
Oh,
counties with bigger structures, where they're all over the millions, this may increase. This may come into effect on those. This may not come into effect on us. We don't really have, I mean,
That'd be a question for the member guy, I guess.
yeah, I'm not a CBIZ report guru by any means. This is the only second one I've seen in 5 years, but.
I'm sure it comes low still.
I would suspect if we wanted to argue it and say it's not worth that much,
And you do have the right to do that.
Yeah, that's what they're giving it to us for.
Yes.
And so we're gonna put the value at.
So if you contested. And I didn't talk to Seth about this, but I did talk to Bob in prior years. He said if there were something really large or a large error or something and you wanted to contest this, you have the right to do that. He goes, is it gonna affect it much? Probably not, but
I mean, I'm not aware of the fairgrounds office. A 239% increase?
Well, over 5 years, probably. Building materials are skyrocket for 2020.
Dave, how has building materials gone up?
They've come back down.
I know that.
I know electrical wires locked up now at Home Depot. You can't just go grab it off the shelf, and then have an assistant come get you.
Good.
But do we have to, I'll make a motion to accept this report.
Second.
Move to seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Moving to finance,
Curiosity. It's the request from the opioid committee.
the things out there. No. Let's do it under finance. Okay, so first thing in finance, I don't know if everybody has, I'll read it. Oklahoma County Board of Commissioners, Oklahoma County Opioid Committee, we are requesting authorization for an ongoing scholarship to be made available at Sunrise Center in the amount of $5,000. Be made available to Oklahoma County residents when other funding is not available. As we indicated earlier, we were privileged to hear from the gentleman who had received the initial scholarship and his appreciation and the value of the scholarship for him. This time, we're requesting that you allow us to provide multiple scholarships, perhaps 2 or 3 a year for treatment. These will be opioid related to grants. Kelly, Commissioner. November 19th, 2025. So the first thing we need to decide is how many scholarships we want to do a year.
Well, we can't decide that because we don't know the details coming into it each year. That's why we're asking for this to be flexible.
No, but we can decide it's the maximum of 2.
Yes, you can. But I think you should have enough trust in the opioid committee to allow us to, when we find that there is an Oklahoma resident who needs this help and doesn't have any other pathway for it. I think you should, I'm asking, do you have enough faith and confidence in that committee to allow them to utilize the information that they have access to and make that decision?
The maximum will for all of them will be $5,000, right?
Per person. If you recall,
person.
the one that we did just very recently, his was a little bit over the 5,000. He was only treated for 15 days.
Mhm.
Now, we're not looking at treating past 15 days.
Right.
Because many times memory will authorize them for like 7 days. But Sunrise knows that's not enough for that particular individual, that client. And so they then try to extend it, but if they have no funding to extend it, the person's put out with a half-assed job. And it's not Sunrise's fault. They didn't have enough time. Like bandaging up something and then ripping the bandage off, but it's not healed.
What is your suggested language for this motion?
Pardon me.
What's your suggested language for the motion?
That the board of commissioners authorize the committee, the opioid committee to provide for us, Alcona residents who have an opioid, who need opioid treatment and have no other funding choice. that are,
Or up
that
to
are
3?
applying to Sunrise Center.
So the motion applies no cap.
Up to 3? Or you said possibly 2 or 3, so. There you go.
We had that opportunity for over 2 years and nobody, it was just this summer that somebody was applicable to use that money. We could go for 5 years and have no one. We could go into the 6th year and have 3. I can't predict that.
So you don't,
Pardon?
so why don't you wanna just come on a case by case? If you have them, then you come and get them that way. Why do you just wanna have it open ended?
We get a call tomorrow and they have somebody who they want to bring in. They have no funding for it. And I say, oh, we can't authorize it until I take it to the board. I don't think,
Do you want ease and quickness of response?
if we need it. We will certainly let you know at the point that we do utilize it.
So will this lock up $15,000 where you will,
You,
I mean, that'd be my only concern.
first of all, the committee, the opioid committee has said, well, at the most, we'll only do 2 or possibly 3 of these a year. Because we have other things we're doing also.
Right,
We
yeah, I don't
can't
want-
put all of our eggs in one basket.
That's what I'm hoping. We're not saying you will do this. We're saying you just want the ability to be able to do it. So you're not gonna budget out 15,000 out of
No,
opioid
oh,
committee
no,
and
no,
say,
no.
can't touch that money.
At the most, we would do 10, maybe 10,000 for 2 scholarships. At the most. Right now, but if a third one came in November. And they needed it, and they had no other source. We would want to be able,
So I would appreciate if you would give a ceiling and say, we're not gonna spend any more than this per year. I mean, you could get 10 people, but we can't do that. Right? So are you willing to say 15,000 max of scholarships or $5,000 scholarships?
then you're not willing to say, opioid committee, we trust your judgment. We understand that you will not make this your primary effort for the year. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, well. there's nothing
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Committee, well, you can think what you want, doesn't make it right. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is. You got 6 or 7 people that come in at the beginning of the year, you have no other things that happen, so yeah, let's do them, and then at the end of the year, the sheriff comes in and says, hey. What if we could get $10,000 for something else? Well, we don't have it, because we already spent it on the 6 people that we thought really needed the scholarship. So it seems to me that it's kind of pigeonholing yourself if you're not willing to put okay, we got 15,000 for scholarships. Most organizations will say, this is our limit. We're not gonna put any more out for scholarships than this. So there's no potential for it.
So what limit do you want to put on?
Well, I think your 15 seems reasonable, 3 people per, and you haven't even had that, so,
No, we haven't, and we don't expect that.
yeah, I mean,
Although the way memory's going, God only knows.
a maximum of 2,000, and it can always be addressed if at the end of the year you have the funding. Say, okay, we do have another one, we're only gonna do 2 a year, but. Could there be more? There could be, I'm not comfortable with just leaving it open-ended, not because I don't trust the committee, but just. I think it's just good business, so that's my 2 cents. Or.
After $15,000 becomes a big fiscal number and probably requires an additional level of oversight, so I think. The motion would say up to 3 scholarships for this next year. Let's just. I mean, well, does that include, are you all used up for this year, or do you have money?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Sorry.
we used it for this year.
Okay, so somebody
We had
could,
one.
somebody could show up tomorrow.
Well, and wouldn't that give you flexibility? If you had 15,000 for scholarships, maybe you would do 2,000, maybe somebody doesn't need the full time.
2,000 gives them like 4
But
or 5.
if they had funding, you'd have the flexibility to give a partial scholarship.
Oh, absolutely.
So, maybe instead of 3 5s, say 15,000 in a scholarship fund to be utilized by the opioid committee at their. So if I can come in and say, I don't have 5, but I got 2. Then you guys scholarship me for 3.
We would.
Yeah. So could just put a dollar amount instead of a number of scholarships and say 15,000 for scholarships.
How about this for a motion? A motion to allow the opioid committee to spend award up to 15,000 in scholarships. Renewable by request if need demonstrates. Or, you know what I'm saying? So you spend those 15,000 and then, you know what, we got this new candidate that could really use it too, come to the board and say, hey. It just, from an auditing standpoint, it shows more responsibility, because somebody from public will come in and
Support
go,
that.
you're all this money,
Well, that's your money.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Probably confusing, convoluted, that's something.
It was much shorter and much better.
Go over. Once in a row. All right, then that's the motion. Any more comment? Roll call.
Small,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes. Thank you.
Finance report, first thing, we have a request to, is this bottom line stuff, or is this just moving stuff around stuff? Carolyn, this funds within 245, we don't have to vote on this, right? You're just asking to.
No.
All right, I'll give that to Sheila.
You guys copy.
All right, then. We do a favor and email it to, finance anyway, just for the sake of the flow of things.
Should have you.
Okay, well then we're all set. I'm so confused. Told you once, girl. Next up, finance. So I would, you know, it's the day before Thanksgiving and everybody wants to get to their turkeys and travel and stuff. But what would anybody say to a, special meeting for budget review on the 26th?
26th.
Everybody's gonna be out of town.
Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday. Don't know if you're gonna be out of town or whatever. Maybe we make it to Monday.
I
don't
would say,
know.
oh, I'm so happy you're scheduling that. That's just what I wanted to do.
Well, I knew you did. I'll dress up like a turkey if it makes you feelings better.
I will.
Or here's my favorite story. I had somebody, one of my Mexican, contacts in my business. And, they wanted me to travel down to their location there and in the background of the meeting. I said, I don't know, I think during the weekend, he hollers out, we have turkey in Mexico, brother. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Juan. 2:00.
Oh, two?
You're out of town? That's fine.
I can't.
You can't make it?
I can, but. I do it on 3.
Well, we could. It's just going over some, we gotta crank through these things.
All right.
Spend an hour on it or something.
You're not approving anything, you're just
No.
reviewing.
We're just cranking through and getting everything set up, questions and everything. Oh, wait, we do have to talk about something though. Didn't, Lauren have something that she wanted to address?
Finance?
What was it?
Yeah, she wanted something voted on with those contracts.
Oh, yeah,
We're not ready for that,
We're not ready.
for the assessor
That
contract?
was just what she
Yeah,
was asking.
Yeah, she was over, yeah,
No,
okay.
no.
Oh, never
Just
mind,
told
never
her
mind, never mind.
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Finance, the 26th at 2:00.
Yeah.
No budget, special
Uh,
meeting,
Special meeting budget
workshop.
workshop. What?
But at 2.
2:00.
Yeah.
You better make it.
Trial court will not be present.
And if it changes, you know, then we end up limiting, that's fine. I'm just trying to keep everything rolling here. What else for finance? They were moving through, trying to get, 26 budgets, submitted and cranked in.
25 budgets. that we
25
need to-
we're kind of getting balanced out.
We needed to make a motion. to Make those corrections for 25 for the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, here we go. So every year, finance asks for a motion from the board to have permission to make budget amendments on the 25 year, so as we close out. Instead of going on a piece by piece basis, just coming to you and saying, just give us authorization to make the changes. So finance like a motion to, make a motion to, wherever did we pass, allow finance to authorize finance to make the necessary changes to, settle year 2025.
My only, and I will be happy to second that if you can add to it that the, those changes will be forwarded after they happen. Those changes will be forwarded to the board.
Done. Add that to it, please. There'll be a full report. Do I have a second? Oh, you did, second. All right, that's should be a roll call. There's no more discussion. Roll call?
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Brady.
Yes, thank you very much. Anything else for finance, Dave?
How did it?
It's getting bleaker and bleaker as we see the numbers develop, so. So get excited about that. Moving to personnel, Craig, do you guys have any updates on?
Oh, so we, after our, what we did in our closed session and I did not to do to agree with the TA, we haven't met again, we're trying to set up a new date. Terry, you were talking to Chris, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna sit down with them again and talk about the HSA. Which I think is the thing,
I think the point is, we really only have one issue that appears to
Right.
be, so we're
Yeah.
close. We're close. We just gotta work through that.
We worked on this morning, so that's why it's kind of a last minute scenario. Personnel, let's bring forward, so I've been doing some, research on what other counties are doing for assistance to their county boards, and, I found this job description for a board of commissioners executive secretary. For the sake of conversation, I'd like to just talk about it right now. We have about 31,000 in our budget. Oh, excuse me, that we formerly paid, that we pay to, budget coordinators, that would go towards this salary. So for example, this is Oscoda County. And this is the description for their, with some modifications. Commissioners, executive secretary, you look through it, has a lot of different, responsibilities. So their pay rate for this position is, right around 48K. And you'd have to add in, of course, all the stuff for the health insurance, and it would be a full-time type position, 35 hours a week, just like everybody else. And they would answer directly to the board of commissioners, but, Gary brought up a good point that we should think about and look into this a little more before we try to do anything right away, because, you know, and they had an issue in Oscoda County where too many, chiefs and one Indian kind of scenario. Ooh, that's why I shouldn't say that, but anyway. Where all the commissioners might have been pulling and pushing on this person to do different things, and, we got to figure out kind of a chain of command situation for that whole scenario before we try to do anything forward, but this is all going towards the efforts of what we talked about all the whole entire year, about how we want to proceed for next year. We have some other options on the board, obviously, to consider, but this is a third option, if you will, or maybe a second. I don't know where we're at right now, but take some time, look this over, give some thought about, you know, how chain of command would actually go on this scenario. And, I'd like to talk about it next week, or, you know, to get some input of whoever's gonna be around, or if you have input, you know, email me your input so we can bring it up at that meeting too, to just figure out, you know, if this is a good way to proceed or not.
So this person will be under our line items.
Correct.
Board of Commissioners line items, it's not be under clerk treasurer.
Correct.
That's-
They're gonna have discussed about the office that we occupy right now, it'd be perfectly good with just having a small desk in a corner for stuff while we're on site, and they could have the rest of that office for whatever they needed for their duties. So, place to sit's not really an issue, but like I said, I'm not asking if we make any moves on this today, obviously, because it's a new concept to everyone. And I think we do have to work out the situation of, you know, how chain of command's gonna work, because I've talked to, not from the same Michigan, but another, person that was in a similar, role that had a lot of difficulty dealing with 5 bosses.
well, I think like almost anything. Our recommendations, our suggestions, our comments, et cetera, they go to the chairman of the board. The chairman of the board deals and handles with them, with whomever this individual would be. They don't have 5 bosses, they have 1.
Well, and that could be fine, and I don't bring it up because that's my current title, so that's why I don't talk about that. That is a potential solution to the problem.
Now, is this in place of what the clerk's office has worked on? It was awful.
This would be another option for what the clerk's office brought forward, correct? We're putting all the options on the table. We're gonna have the final budget with all the options, and then we can go through and figure out, what's the best way to proceed. But we'd be remiss not to consider this scenario. Let's go some thought into it.
So, and so we're talking about from 45,000.
45 to 50,000 probably for their salary, but when you add in all the other costs, it's probably
Sure.
a $65,000 movie.
And budget purposes, I know that on the other positions that are being requested, we have added that into the 26 budget for right now do you want that added in as well? Should we increase a line item?
Yeah,
Or add a line item for just that?
well,
For,
maybe in this case,
Budget?
let's hold off on putting this in
Okay.
there. Because let's not create this line item and then end up not using it
okay,
until we make a decision.
cause I know the other ones are the same way.
Yeah, I know, but this is a little different because this is us directly looking at this
Okay.
instead of us trying to
Okay.
consider all the options.
Sounds good.
And you might have some suggestions how to improve the subscription. I don't know. Oh, another thing I would suggest is if it's okay if I email this to Tom and, Acrisure,
Oh, absolutely.
have them review it too.
Absolutely. Maybe Tom first.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, Tom first, but this. Right, that is personnel, I believe. Treasurer's report.
Okay, the township treasurers right now are, preparing their winter roll. Our office is, assisting them on that. They're gonna be mailing out winter tax bills on December 1st, so those will be going out as required, by law to have them out by December 1st. The 26 dog license have arrived, so those are available to purchase. And still working on 26 budgets. And we're gonna be cleaning up the 25 budgets and just had brought that up, so we'll be doing that as well. If there is any discrepancies or concerns, we definitely will notify the department head. And go over a few things with them and be on the same page as far as with their budget. So, working closely with the department heads on that. We do have some department heads that want to, meet for the 26 budget. I'm assuming maybe at the next meeting on the 26th, we
Yeah,
can invite
extend
those
it.
department heads to review their, okay.
Yep, I think so.
Alrighty, so I will contact them and let them know and go over their budgets. And I think that's about it.
Oh, and the side note is that, initial estimates for 2025, balance rollover, we might have only about 750K in our, fund balance, the rollover, so that's why I. Next up, clerk's report.
The first thing is the Acrisure that we've been working with. I had spoke about this on a November 5th meeting, but I didn't have time to review this stuff, so I printed this up, and this is the dashboard that I was referring to. And it shows you on the right-hand side, the actions or steps that need to be taken if we've completed them. That's kind of just shows you where we're at with everything and everything from beginning to end over the next 3 years. The email from this Sarah Cook shows that the 1099 audit is currently in progress. Hoping to have that done, obviously, before Tina has to start doing W-2s and 1099s. Also, the LSA audit. That's regarding current job descriptions. Trina's still emailing back and forth job descriptions as we find them, because they will be updating those and probably be reaching out to department heads or the board. The OSHA 300 posting, that is, we post that every single year in our office of any injuries that have occurred on the property. This Xywave is a portal that Trina will be uploading and utilizing information into with Acrisure. And they have reached out, the custodians need special trainings. Dave's aware of them. Dave said that they're quite expensive, $300 to $500 to take these trainings. So they don't have them all. So, in this Xywave portal, they have the trainings online, so other people can utilize this through Acrisure, kind of like MMRMA has certain and special trainings that people can do. So that was a bonus.
Cool.
So, Dave and Josh will be looking into those. Trina's helping him get set up in there. The EPLI coverage, I have to reach out to MMRMA. What that is the, let me think. Employees' personal liability insurance, I believe is what that stands for. And I went through the 2025, 2026 renewal from page by page, and I don't see that we have it. Maybe it's in some small underlying wording that I don't see. So I have to look into that one still. And again, the last page just kind of shows you the implementation plans and the timelines, hoping for those to be completed over the next 3 years. So that was the breakdown on that I wasn't able to share with you at the last meeting. The next thing, MMP, Terry was not able to attend a Zoom meeting. So I attended it in his place. It took about 40 minutes and it showed all the counties that were present on the Zoom meeting, kind of what the survey is that pertains to each county individually. So, Mount Morency was on there, Iosco County was on there, Alpena was on there. Alpena and Iosco basically want certain words in their survey that they're gonna put out and utilize to residents so that they can say what they want for waste management materials. As far as, we'd like another location in Glenny or in Hubbard Lake, or we'd like Lincoln Hours to be open more. So they would have to work with setting that up, because as of right now, it's Alpena Recycle that handles those hours the second Saturday of every month. So we submitted, we're compliant on there. I have minutes that I can pass out to you from the last meeting, and Terry, you were present at that one. But they emailed these minutes. The next thing I have, let me get back over here and look. I don't know if you want these, Sheila, they're just minutes from the waste management plan. The attorney-client privilege letter that I included in your packets, not on the email that went out to everybody. It's not anything secretive, it's basically just telling you upcoming dates and when the next hearing is. And our attorneys will be attending on behalf of us so that we don't have to attend. And then we'll figure out more where from going forward. For that, hopefully on that hearing that's gonna be held on December 15th. I believe it's always in Bay City. Adam, the last thing I have, that MGT Master Services Agreement Plan, apparently we missed a page signing it, so I have brought that forth again.
Works for me. Anything else?
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully.
What happened with the Moog grant? Was that completed?
It was submitted, but we haven't heard back from Goddard or not.
Okay,
I was going to share with them what we did.
okay. So I'll need a copy of that application and everything that is in it. Workers' comp numbers, now that bill came through, Tina's guesstimates on what all of the. We're very close. about half of the offices that were requested to try to find it within their budget to cover those costs were done. The other half have not been done, so those workers' comp lines all need to be adjusted. And I will share that. I'll make a copy of that. And the MERS that had adjustments, I don't know if those were corrected yet or not. If they have been, I didn't notice them.
That's what the 2025 motion was made for all those to be correct.
Okay.
So that's all.
I
to be
still
cleaned
have
up for
that one
2025.
too, if you don't have it. And then Trina adjusted all of the health insurance rates with the correct amounts after it was decided upon for the 13%. Who wants those?
13%.
The health insurance rates? For-
So all those
Send
would
it to
be,
finance. Or.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the numbers in the.
Trina has
in the- So can you enter them in there? Or- Send them to finance.
No,
That's
I-
how they adjustment for 26, you mean, right?
right.
Yeah.
So she'll submit the spreadsheet with all the correct amounts
Yep.
to finance.
Yes, please.
So that they can be updated on their 2026 budgets and the health insurance line,
Yes, please.
because we don't have them now.
Okay.
Yeah. Once they were done, I forwarded them to you guys. And that's it.
Before we go further, I'd like to thank Steph for attending that meeting. And all the extra duties that she's really just assumed. Not by volunteering, but just sort of thrust at her. And she stepped up and has definitely helped me in this process.
Well-
Hopefully, we will continue forward with this process.
Hopefully it'll settle down soon.
Okay, Sheriff's report. Nothing ever settles down, just get more. Ladies.
No, that's perfect. That's good. That's fine.
Should have set with my. Well, into deer season, as everybody's well aware. Had no major incidents or injuries or anything like that, other than a young man who thought he put his deer down and. The deer danger put him down because it wasn't ready to go yet, so. He was injured a little bit the other day, I believe on opening morning, but nothing significant, no big bar fights, no accidental shootings or anything like that so far, thank God. But it does seem like there's been a lot of people around probably because of the Saturday opener. We tend to have bigger turnouts for openers on the weekend than we do during the middle of the week. Hence, a lot of people around on the state land and federal land. Last Wednesday, several of the Northern Michigan sheriffs met with Cam Cabot on Zoom about some funding concerns. Typically, or most specifically about law enforcement funding. We're really struggling to find that funding. The state's come through with a violent crime trust fund allocation. It's for us, it's crap. It's like $6,000. But there's some real confusion on who's getting how much right now. It really hasn't been laid out. And I just had a meeting with MSA and the Department of Treasury is handling that, and they're not rolling it out till March, and they don't know how much it's going to be. It's about $6,700 for Alcona County. The interesting thing with that is townships, villages, and cities get an allocation of that money that comes in based on violent crime that occurred in 2024 in their municipality. Good news is we've had very little violent crime around the county. The bad news is you get less money based on that. The other interesting thing is that money is going to township, cities, or villages to use towards law enforcement or other emergency funds. 75% of it's supposed to go to law enforcement. The other 25 can go to whatever, ambulances or EMS or fire, whatever they decide. Here, none of our cities, townships, or villages have a mechanism to spend that, so they're probably going to get that money deposited, have no freaking idea what to do with it. And with any luck, they will call or inquire with us. If not, they may just dump it in their general fund and they know what to do with it. But the idea is it's supposed to come to the county sheriff if the county sheriff does law enforcement for that municipality. That also doesn't add up to a whole heck of a lot, but again, those numbers are not solid yet.
we're not gonna probably know till March is what I'm hearing right now on that.
You'd be making an approach to the township?
I think that's probably gonna be the best aspect, and I'd like to see, you know, a little bit closer to when we get firm numbers on that. And I'll probably address that with the township clerks or supervisors and let them know to, you know, when they get that money that comes in. It's probably gonna come in as an electronic funds transfer. It may not have much of a description on it, as we know that does sometimes. And I'll probably have to let them know that that's gonna need to come our way.
That'd be something over contract then, for them to receive the money from you?
Nope,
So-
no, it's that, yeah, I'm not sure the mechanism, but if it's on a contract, of which I have a contract with the city of Harrisville, they'll just use that money to pay us for whatever services we render to them. Yeah. I've worked on an updated agreement with Iosco County. Yeah, they called last week, kind of pestering to see where we're at on that. I made some dates and terms adjustments and sent that to corporate counsel, which is Mr. Whitehall for review. It's not changed much other than dates and terms, so he's gonna look at that, maybe get it back to us next week or not, let us know if there's anything needs to be changed on that. We're looking at hiring a young man as an employee recruit, which means we have to go through the hiring process, and then to do that, we have to go through all the employment conditions that have to be to be a police officer before he's a police officer. Before we can send him to a police academy, he has to meet all these requirements, of which he's doing a very good job of that so far. He's gonna start in January at Kirtland as long as he gets through all that. There's also a pre-employment agreement with him that we're gonna have him sign. Mr. Whitehall's got that in his hands to review also to make sure that meets his standards. It should, it came from another county. I just, again, changed the terms and changed the county name to ours. And it also has, so along with that, it's the Public Safety Academy Assistance Grant. The state of Michigan will reimburse us up to $20,000 for the costs associated with the recruitment of these employees, of which the tuition goes directly to the academy, so we don't have to siphon that through here, but whatever's left over after that, we can use for any other costs associated with travel, supplies, uniforms, and even salary. So the idea behind this is that it doesn't get us 100% of the funding that it takes to get somebody on the road, but it gets us a lot closer. The trick is that they have to be an employee of ours beforehand, so we're in the process of hiring him ahead of time, getting him on the books and getting him set up and going. That should be shaking out. I think even today and tomorrow, we're working on that. Again, it's a grant, it's a competitive grant. I think we will do very well in the competition because we haven't applied for this the last 2 cycles. This is the 3rd cycle. We didn't apply the first 2 cycles, and typically they're giving preferential treatment to agencies that haven't used the grant before. And we certainly haven't exceeded the cost. You're allowed to send up to 25 employees to this that we've sent. So I think we're in pretty good shape to get that. The next item is that Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson was here yesterday on the campaign trail. Interestingly enough, that's the 3rd gubernatorial candidate to visit Alcona County this summer. That's pretty cool. I think it's nice to see us getting some attention statewide here. This morning, we had Kirtland Community College had their training consortium meeting. Not that it matters a heck of a lot to you guys, but they are one of the 2 agencies that we contract with to do our training. So we were in their consortium, and it's $150 per officer, of which we pay for that through the CPE money, which the state gives us. So it comes full circle. But anyways, for $150 an officer, they basically get all their training during the year for free through that, and it works out very well for us. For a few years, they were down. Years ago, they were very, very up and doing a very good job with their training. Dropped off for a few years. I don't know if they had leadership issues there or what, but it's built back up and it's doing very well now. So all these, you hear me talk about CPE credits, which is continuing professional education for law enforcement. It's paid, basically all paid for through the state. They are handling most of that for us. The other ones that they're not covering for us, we go through Police One, which is an online service to get our credits through that. So we have documentation for those 2 sources, and it works out pretty well. And those are the 2 agencies that we use to help us out with fulfilling our obligations to training. And again, I mentioned I went to the MSA board meeting just a few minutes ago. I got off that and ran right over here. One more thing, I wanted to introduce Brielle Susan Pettit. She's sitting over here in the corner. I hired her this last summer in June to work as a part-time corrections officer. If you're not familiar with Brielle, she graduated in 2018 from Alcona Community Schools with my son. She went to work in Alpena at the jail for a couple years where she got her corrections officer accreditation, which is a certification through the state of Michigan. She maintained that close enough that when we hired her back, we just had to give her a little extra training to get her certification up to snuff with the state. Interesting thing about her is that her grandmother worked here for years in Alcona County before she went to Alpena County. She was a real good dispatcher for us and did a real nice job. And so did her aunt, worked here, not as long, I don't think, maybe a year or so before she went to Alpena County. So she's got some pretty strong ties to here. And the other neat thing is when her grandmother retired, she was in the car with me and they were doing last call for her in Alpena County. And we all got to hop on my radio in the police car and do a last call salute to her grandmother. So that was pretty cool. She's got some great experience in corrections and comes to us very well trained, fortunately by Alpena County, and has some great experience. And I'm expecting quite a bit of her in the future. So that is the end of my report, unless there are any questions for me.
I have a question. Do you think there's any merit to having a couple commissioners and yourself meet with the ASCO folks? And talk about rates at all?
Well, I'll defer to Commissioner Yax because I think he had a conversation with one of them and I think the result of that was it didn't seem to be fruitful.
All right, I just, your opinion on it.
Yeah, did you agree or?
Terry Dutcher was like, I wanted to hire. Or we wanted it 450.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think their county administrator was up around the 511 mark. I think they heard some other comments that, you know, they weren't unprofessional, but they were other recommendations that weren't in our favor or in our direction. So.
All right, I'd be remiss not to ask.
No, I agree. And I think I commend Mr. Yoxer for the effort and trying that. I think it was well worth it. I think those off the or informal contacts that we all have, I think they tend to pay out. This one didn't, but I think they tend to pay out when we have those contacts with our community members and other leaders.
You just want to rebalance the town, you know.
I guess, I mean, I at some point, I think we're something redundant, but. I mean, if the board wants to entertain some type of counter offer, that certainly won't be inappropriate either. Were you swayed away from anything like that?
I mean, good, he said, well, we could have more conversations about it.
Sure.
I defer to your expertise on this, obviously, but you know, if we don't ask, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think his conversation went as well as we had hoped, but I certainly don't think we're out of a position where a counter offer with some type of conversation is out of the realm.
You have a conversation with the sheriff quite a bit down there.
I do, yes.
And you guys are more aligned than.
Yeah, and you know, from his perspective, he's not really on board with this. He thinks this is pretty high. This is quite a big ask. And he's voiced that concern to the county administrator and his board. He wants to maintain this relationship. This is a win-win for him down there. And he wants to maintain it. And he doesn't want to push too far, to get us to go somewhere else or find another way out of this.
Does anybody here have any interest in being part of that conversation?
I would, but I agree with you. I think we need an official communication from the full board to them to say we have questions about this. The sheriffs have done their stuff. Everybody's talked, and I appreciate David, but I think an official, hey, we'd like a little more information. Either we get the county administrator up here or somebody, or we sit down with her and say, explain to us where and why.
I will hesitate. I'll warn you on that a little bit. Her numbers are very accurate. They are right where my numbers would be at. If I was running that jail and the cost to run that jail per bed that we're requesting, she's right in line. So I don't think you're gonna get her to come up here. She's not gonna falter on her numbers. Her numbers are accurate.
So, but have we looked at surrounding areas and looked at where Roscommon's charging? Are they out of line with what other counties are charging for offsite?
That I don't know. I don't, for what they're charging, I don't know that. I know that's what it costs for them per bed per day. So it'd be a little bit different everywhere you look, but as far as what other people are charging, it's a contractual agreement to save so many beds for us. It's not necessarily how many you actually use. You have to have them reserved, and none of these jails are getting
I can't say none because not all of them, most of the jails are not getting into actual what you put in our jail per day, per bed, per inmate. They get into, we need to reserve this many for you to make this work. And I understand that. I mean, that does, from our end, we're paying more than we would if we were paying actual costs. But the ability to have that available to us is.
So I understood the operating expenses, labor, food, heat,
Mhm.
electrical.
Mhm.
But I felt like there was maybe a little more depreciation on buildings and some of the intangibles that maybe were factored into the pricing. That was a little rich for what I thought.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't look at it, didn't see her numbers on what she broke it down that way. I just saw the final results. But basically, if I was to do it, I would take my entire jail budget, divided by 365 days, divided by 31 beds that my jail has, and that's how much a bed costs per day. And if I do that for their jail, because their budget's public, just like ours,
Mhm.
I'm looking at $140, $110 a day.
But the problem is like Roscommon had too, that with their new jail, they shut it down. Is because if you're at 30% capacity, you still have to have the staffing levels at the same as 100%.
You do.
So if they don't have any of our inmates there, their fixed costs are pretty much almost the same.
Mhm.
I agree. The fixed costs in a jail don't change a heck of a lot.
And I told
Yeah.
Terry that, and he was like, well, I get it.
And then the sheriff understands that too. Food, the cost of food, electricity, sewage and water are the only things that changed. And it's very minor in the cost of running the jail. That's very minor. Meals are very inexpensive. Water and electricity are very inexpensive for a jail. They don't go up and down based on numbers that much.
And it's labor that they have to have there.
Mhm.
So it's up to the chair, but I think we did.
I think we need to do anything official on it, but let's, more conversation with staff for sure.
Do you want to talk to them? What are we? We'll set
Get
something
Jay
up.
Farrell, Jay,
Mhm.
who's their board chair? Is it Jay?
Terry is now, Terry J was, but Terry.
But work closely with the sheriff, because I don't wanna turn
Oh,
that
for
into
sure.
a
No,
hullabaloo
yeah,
Yeah, I don't,
disaster.
yeah, and neither do I. I don't feel like that's happening at all here, so, that's fine. But, we've got ourselves in a position where we're beholden to them, this is the position we're in, and this is they know it, and this is a required operation, and what's the alternative? He told you what it was, that it was open back up.
hey, we have a lot of maintenance on our building that we're gonna have to upgrade. We're looking to pay the maintenance on the building.
Yeah. The idea of regional jail facilities, we always poo-poo those because nobody wants to give up their jails, but, you would run into the same difficulties is the cost and maintenance and upgrades and maintenance of an older facility once they get older, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not exactly in uncharted waters, but a little bit, for sure.
Alright, any more questions for Scott? Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Any reports? Carolyn, you want to start?
Sure. The cannabis, application was sent in. What we asked for, we approached 4 entities within the community. And, unfortunately, on a Sunday morning, the school said, no, on second thought, we don't want to participate, so that's fine. We did, through our sobriety court, we did a rite of passage for $1,000, something they've been looking for some time. With Catholic Human Services, zippered lock bags, it protects the parents' marijuana, and it prevents them. Well, the kids, if they do tamper with it, it's very obvious to the parent. They're $20 a bag, and we allotted 2,220 for that. Marijuana stimulation goggles. Also a Catholic Human Service project at $297 for 3 goggles. Marijuana test strips, $200 presentation for clinic staff. This would be a expert-led educational and evidence-based for alcohol health staff at $400. Recovery court incentive, $900. drug impaired driving, $1,000 for a total of 6,017, plus the 200 that is the administration. In addition to that, we had, Zach Williams was here. The nest is at approximately 70% completion. They, are working on the interior framing and finishing up the water and electrical lines. They expect to be ready the end of January or the early part of February. It will house 16 men. They are ADA compliant, and they will be one of only 5 in the state recovery houses that is ADA compliant. Also, at 4 o'clock on December 10th at the ACCOA complex, we will be having a naloxone presentation again. We try to have them one in the spring and one in the fall. Donna Harding will be doing the presentation, and then it's at 4 o'clock on December 10th. Advertisement and so on is in the process of coming out. Got 5 entities who got involved in Christmas trees, including ACCOA president and the townships of Greenbush and Mikado. CLIB is having December 12th, they are at 10 o'clock, they are having their last meeting of the year, and they will be reviewing and approving the 2026 budget. And I attended the Veterans Breakfast, the 11th of November. And it would have been nice had there been greater participation. And that's primary stuff I've been working on.
Gary?
There's 2 meetings, NISBA meeting and CNH meeting. NISBA is in the middle of their waiting for funds to come, and now government is back. They should be receiving them. Nothing to really report from mental health. Be attending the meeting tomorrow, the materials management program. Stephanie has, told you, there'll be a survey in the future. You'll be asking questions in regards to where and how this recycling is going to be. Bye. A lot of things on this recycling is still up in the air, so we'll be waiting for trying to make the planning, pitch planning. That's all.
All right, I saw something interesting, or I got an email a couple weeks ago, Curtis Township was awarded from Consumers Energy, a $250,000 grant to build them a new building for their township hall, so that's pretty cool.
I did talk to them all that.
Yeah,
But I missed the meeting. They said that it's a 200. I think it was right, $250,000.
Yeah.
It's from consumers.
Yep.
Right. And they're looking to do a building they were hoping to buy. There was a restaurant for sale down there, and they were hoping to buy that, but apparently, what I was told is that someone has beat them to the building.
no,
So now they're going forward, looking at other options.
yeah, well, that was pretty cool for our community though.
It is. It is very cool. I don't know if down the roads the dams do close, which I hope they don't. That will definitely help them.
Just had a couple township meetings. And I did get a call this last week. They're putting another tower up in Caledonia Township off of at 41 Black River Road. Looking for permits for putting fiber to that.
Which corner?
Bouchard Road. Like 5 Mountain. Go at 41 east on Black River.
Oh, not on the corner 41 and.
No, down,
Okay.
close, probably closer
I
to
see.
Bouchard Road.
Interesting.
So township board, city council meeting. So I asked both, my townships about the new grants. We were wondering if anybody wanted it. They were, Bristol Township was great. City council was very happy. They actually were volunteering some help if we needed it to be administered. So I did kind of Ron, so I'll let her know that. City council, if nobody knows already, they've moved. They're no longer up here. They're down at the old, Department of Health building. That's where the offices will be. So if you got anything to do with, the fire department is taking over everything up there. That'll be the fire department office and
Wow.
the building. So they're down there doing some. Well, the meeting was in a room that was 2 rooms and there's jagged 2x4s hanging out of the ceiling. Yeah, I think they just ripped it down that day to make a room big enough for the meeting, so. They seem pretty excited about it. It's, I don't know, it's gotta be a 100-year-old building, so.
Yeah, that's a cool building.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of steak fries upstairs.
Sure, yeah.
That'd be neat. Sure. Parks and Rec, nothing of consequence. We're, working through the ORV grant money, so we're doing a lot. We have money to work with, so we're grading these trails this time of year. We had depended on others to get that done before the freeze up. So Ken Coastal's been out and has done a good job of getting things flattened out. If snow hits, past has been a problem. So now we have an ORV grant, we could build the city for those dollar amounts. So that's helping out. And I've heard good things about the trails. Scott, you been out at all? And
No, I haven't, but the prior years, that's been a real concern,
Yeah.
that they didn't get graded.
yeah, so we're.
That's 50 years.
We're staying on that now with that new grant, so that's good. I think that's it.
All right. Communications are in your packets. Last section of public comment. No public comment. Commissioner, additional comments, concerns? And we're adjourned till special meeting on November 26th.
Yeah, you, I see.